ಋಷಿಗಳ ಪೀಡೆ. ಜಯ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ, ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಭೂದೇವಿಯ ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ, ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿಯೇ, ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ, ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿಂದಾದೇಶ. ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ, ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ. ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ಚಿರಋತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಶಂಕರರ ಮನುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ, ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮಧ್ವರ ದೇವ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ, ರನ್ನ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಪುನ್ನ, ಪಂಕಲ ಕುಣಿಪತಿ ಜನ್ನ. ಕುಮಾರ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಮಂಗಳ ಧಾಮ, ಕವಿ ಕೋಗಿಲೆಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯಾರಾಮ. ನಾನಕ ರಾಮಾನಂದ ಕಬೀರರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ತೈಲಪ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳ ನಾಡಿನ ನಾಡೆ, ಕಂಕಣ ಜಗಳರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗ, ಕಾವೇರಿಯ ವರದಂಗ. ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ, ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ. ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ, ಪಾರಸಿಕ ಜೈನರುದ್ಯಾನ. ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ನುಡಿಗಳ ಗಾಮ, ಗಾಯಕ ವೈಣಿಕರ ನಾಮ. ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ, ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ. ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನು ಜಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
Thank you. The consumer movement marks 15th March in the World Consumer Rights Day every year. As a means of raising global awareness about the consumer rights and needs, this year on the eve of World Consumer Rights Day, the Chair on Consumer Law and Practice, National Law School of India, University Bangalore, and Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reforms, Bangalore, are honored to jointly organize this brainstorming workshop on Consumer Protection Act 2019. Without much delay, I request Mr. Sanjay Utigi, Research Assistant, NLSIU Bangalore, to welcome the gathering. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you, Akshay. Good morning, everyone present here. Respected dignitaries, my colleagues and my dear students, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome this august gathering. First of all, I would like to introduce and welcome resource persons for today's program. First of all, I would like to welcome and introduce Sri Dwarakanath Ji, Director, Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reforms, Bangalore. Since 1983, Sir has been in government service and he has served for more than 38 years. Sir has obtained his graduation in Commerce in 1978, LLB from Vivipuram Law College in the year 1984, and MA in Kannada from Bangalore University in the year 1987. Sir was Secretary to Department of Parliamentary Affairs and Legislative Reforms from June 2016 to July 2021. Sir was Special Secretary to Department of Parliamentary Affairs and Legislation from 2013 to 2016. Sir was Syndicate Member for Karnataka State Law University Hubballi from 2016 to 2021. Sir was member of Academic Council of the Karnataka State Law University Hubballi between June 2016 to July 2021. Sir was member of Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reforms from June 2016 to July 2021. Sir has worked for more than 10 years as Secretary, Scrutinizing Committee under the chairmanship of Honorable Law Minister. Sir has worked as advisor to Committee on Subordinate Legislation of State Legislature for more than 10 years. Also, sir has assisted the state government in drafting major legislations. Welcome to you, sir. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Revaya Vadaya, Research Head of Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reform, Bangalore. Sir has MA and PhD in Kannada. Sir has experience of 5 years as professor at LPS College, Bangalore. Also, sir has worked as research head and registrar at Kilpar. Sir has created more than 30 books in his publications. Welcome to you, sir. Now I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Ashok R. Patil, Professor of Law in LSI, Bangalore. Sir has obtained degree in BSc Criminology and Forensic Science in the year 1993, LLB in the year 1996, LLM in Mercantile Law in the first rank in the year 1998, and PhD in the year 2006. Sir has specialization in consumer law. Sir has teaching experience of 20 years in consumer law, ODR, ADR, mediation, and motor vehicles act. And sir has completed 10 years of service as professor of law. Sir is acting chair of consumer law and practice, consumer law and practice established by Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, since its establishment in the year 2008. Sir is also founder and director of Online Consumer Mediation Center and chief editor of IJCLP, Scopus Index Annual Journal. And also sir is board member of International Association of Consumer Law. Welcome to you, sir. Also, I welcome all the participants, staff and students of NLS and all other law colleges, IT member of NLSIU. Everyone, I welcome everyone present here on behalf of Consumer Chain and NLSIU. We are overwhelmed to have all of you here. Thank you. Over to Akshay.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to felicitate our chief guest. I request Professor Ashok R. Patil to felicitate Dwarkana Babu, the director of Kilpa. Now I request Sanjay Uttini sir to felicitate Revaya Vadaya sir. Also request Sanjay to felicitate Professor Ashok R. Patil. Without much delay, I would like to move to the sessions and I request Shri K. Dwarkanath Babu sir, Director, Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reforms, to address the inaugural speech.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಕಾನೂನು ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಸದೀಯ ಸುಧಾರಣಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಗ್ರಾಹಕರ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅಶೋಕ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಅವರೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೇವಯ್ಯ ಒಡೆಯರವರೇ, ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಲು ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿವಿಧ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು. ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದು 2019ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈಗ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸುಲಲಿತವಾಗಿ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಚಾರ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. You see, the Consumer Protection Act 2019 has been brought after repealing 2008 Act. Much improvement has been done in the new legislation. It was very much required, and a team has worked very hard extent to bring new legislation. And one of the major contribution is from Ashok or Patil ji sir, who has also participant in bringing new legislation. Okay, just if you go to the 1986 Act, we have to compare with the new legislation and the old legislation. What made government to bring new legislation is to be observed in. No doubt, you can see several judgments of the Supreme Court and various forums which interpreted that consumer rights and keep on adding to what was provided in 1986 Act. Its wings were extended, and these judgments has improved its significance. Does it mean that there was no law before 86 Act Consumer Protection Act which was governing consumers? No, it was there. Then what made government to bring 1986 Act? Just as a brief history, all those laws were not an easy step to the consumer. As you see in the court of law, it takes years together to get the benefit in the court. But in the 1986 Act, the first step is that to make it a simple way to get the benefits of the consumer. The main concept is to bring summary trial. The court procedure reduced and make it simple. Earlier, only advocate is to go for seeking justice. After 1986 Act, you need not have advocate. Single piece of paper, if you take a complaint to the Consumer Protection Forum, they have honored your. See, this simplicity was required. That court procedure has to be reduced. Then only we can take justice to the people. The main intention is to take justice to the people with a simple procedure. Thereafter, it included goods and services. See, all movable goods are covered. When we go to the immovable things, as you see, RERA Act is there. When RERA Act comes here in the Consumer Protection Act, where it involves services, then the question of Consumer Protection Act gets its importance. When you are entering into a contract with a developer who agrees to give you building within so many years after taking advance or many deposits from you, you have seen that you are cheated in several occasions. They take money, they take installments, but they don't deliver house in the apartments. That case is also covered here in the Consumer Protection Act. Except where sites are formed, that goes to RERA Act. Further, where you enter into agreement with a builder, if he doesn't complete within your period of agreement, then he is also covered under the services, goods and services under the Consumer Protection Act. See, nowadays it has so widely enhanced the services of all sectors. Services of all sectors is covered under Consumer Protection Act. Only exception what is provided in the Act is a service which is not charged, free service is not covered under Consumer Protection Act. See, other landmark judgments we have seen services of doctor is also covered. One more thing, when you suffer loss due to negligence of a doctor, it is also covered in the Consumer Protection Act. Negligence of doctor, see, it has three dimensions. One is civic in nature, where you claim for compensation, that can be covered under Consumer Protection Act. The second dimension is criminal act, criminal charges against the doctor due to negligence. And the third dimension is when he commits professional wrongs, his career is also affected when he goes to the medical council. See, all three aspects are there. Majorly, a consumer, when he suffers loss due to negligence of a doctor, he will be benefited out of the compensation that is easily available with less court procedure in the Consumer Protection Act. See, here the procedure is summary trial, but if you go to fix him in the criminal liability, the onus lies upon you to prove. So that requires more and lengthy procedure. Even if you go to medical council, you might have read about Jacob case in the Supreme Court, where it has said you have to establish how he was negligent, and several procedure has been laid down by the Supreme Court. So, these are the benefits with the simple procedure that is provided in the Consumer Protection Act 2019. Further, in 86 also there, see what are the new things that have been brought. Broadly, I will say few things. In 2019 Act, forum was called as commission. District forum has been renamed as district commission. State forum as state commission. National commission. Up to ₹1 crore, you have jurisdiction for district commissions. Transactions up to ₹1 crore. From 1 crore to 10 crores, you have jurisdiction in the state commission. About 10 crores, national commission. And appeal is there from district to state commission to national commission. In addition to these changes, what we significantly notice in this new legislation is that central authority, state authority and district authorities have been created. This is the very important change which was not available in 1986 Act, Consumer Protection Act. Then what is the role of these authorities? See, they have power to investigate with the help of Director General of Investigation. They can sue, they can investigate, inquire into a class of violations, not individual cases. They can inquire into a class of human rights violations. As you know, there are 6 human rights enumerated in the Act. Further, unfair trade practices, unfair trade contracts, all these can be taken up by the authorities. These authorities can investigate and sue the concerned in the court of law. First, they can go to the commissions. Authority can file suit in the commission. This new concept of creating authority, getting investigated and prosecuted has been brought in the 2019 Act. Further, what was not there in the 1986 Act is the formation of mediation cells, panels at the district commission, state commission. See, now in the new Act, it provides for preparation of panel of advocates or persons who can mediate disputes. See, this is the new form of resolution of disputes. With all these new provisions, 2019 Act has come into force, but no doubt there is a significant delay in bringing the provisions into force. State government has framed rules under 2019 Act only in the year 2020. Still several actions have to be seen when Act can be fully implemented. It can only be implemented only when rules, subordinate legislations, statutory notifications under the Act are fully issued and brought into force. Otherwise, see, rules and subordinate legislations are like wheels. Act is only a skeleton body which can give you a layout of the act, but it can run with the wheels only when rules are made, procedures are made. Even today, as I was discussing with Ashok ji, that though Act provides for preparation of mediation panels at district commission, state commission, not even single panel has been prepared till today. So, in order to enforce the law to full extent, all these actions has to be taken by the government, certain from the part of the government. And the second part is of the citizens. When you become more aware about the provisions of the Act, you can bring the provisions into force. When you understand things, then the Act will be implemented to the full extent. Citizen is the person who can bring the provisions. And whenever there any loss occurs, any damage has happened, you should not keep quiet. See, in our country, only less people are preferred litigation. Do you agree? Nobody prefers litigation. They want to settle out of court. But unless, see, here is the simplest procedure provided in the Consumer Protection Act. Unless you utilize, see, another dimension is e-commerce. One chapter is provided. E-commerce service provider, e-commerce product suppliers. See, whenever, you see, every day, each one of you do the business on e-commerce. Amazon, Flipkart, everything. See, whenever you suffer a loss or whenever you are deceived in the transaction, you must always prefer to evoke the law. Then only law will come into force. So with this preliminary note, I conclude my things, and it is your chance to present your papers and show your excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with the objectives of this event and also taking us through the comparative analysis of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 and Consumer Protection Act of 2019. Thank you once again, sir. Now I request, so we have another chief guest today, Pratima Narayan. She is an advocate and mediator and founder partner of Tech Lawlogi Consulting LLP, Bangalore. I request Komla ma'am to felicitate Pratima Narayan ma'am. Thank you ma'am. Now I am moving on to the next part. I request Professor Ashokar Patil to address presidential remarks.
Respected K. Gaurav Officer, Director Silpa, Dr. Vadir, Dr. Pratima, staff members of law colleges, and student friends. Hello. Yeah. So today, this month is very important because 15th March is World Consumer Rights Day. 15th March, wherein John F. Kennedy introduced consumer rights in 1962 in Congress. So that day we celebrate as a World Consumer Rights Day. And December 24th we are celebrating it as a National Consumer Rights Day. So we have seen even our sirs discussed about the 86 Act and 2019. So we started working. I am heading a consumer chair which is established by Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Since 2010 we started working on amendment to Consumer Protection Act. Up to we started 2010, 2014, up to 2014 we were thinking of amending the 86 Act. So we amended, even bill 2013 bill was introduced. Later that Congress government gone and BJP government came, then they thought of revamping whole legislation. Then the government introduced 2015 bill. So 2015 bill introduced in Lok Sabha, then it was referred to standing committee. So standing committee contains around 20-25 people of MPs, all parties, and they invited all the experts throughout India. And even myself went and given my expert opinion. So that standing committee, parliamentary standing committee report submitted to the parliament. Again it came back to the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and once again we reviewed what are the recommendations given by the standing committee. We added many very important things in the bill. Then later we introduced as a Consumer Protection Bill 2018. And it was lapsed because during that time again election announced. So then same thing, it was introduced in 2019. So 2019 bill was introduced in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and notified by the President's signature and notified in the official gazette. But even though it was passed in 2019, notified in 2019, but came into force in July 21st, 2020. The reasons are many why the government thought of coming out with the comprehensive legislation. So we have two international surveys. One is Kurz International Survey 2012 and IIPA, Indian Institute of Public Administration Survey in 2013. Both surveys clearly shows that what is the pathetic condition in India, especially consumer redressal system, and even awareness. The Kurz International shows one of the statistics, only 0.3% of the aggrieved consumers are approaching consumer commissions, only 0.3. Do you think that rest of all the people are illiterate? So it is not like that. Even literate people are not exercising their rights. So that makes the manufacturers, service providers to continue their exploitation. So Indian consumers' mindset or attitude should change. Then only we can take action against these people, and in future they will stop exploiting the consumers. And along with those two national surveys, one case was filed, State of UP versus UP Bar Council in 2016. Supreme Court, in that case, constituted a committee under the chairmanship of Justice Arjit Pashar, former judge of Supreme Court. And literally, that is a 3 members committee. Literally, they visited all the states, met all the state commission presidents, members, NGOs, everybody, and prepared a report submitted to the commission, the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court, in that report, clearly says political appointments are happening. All the members are appointed as per which government is there. That government, loyal people will be appointed not on merit. So that was the thing. And there were some members taking salary, even one day they have not gone to district commissions. So all those observations made, and the Supreme Court took it very serious, and they directed the central government to prepare rules for appointment of the members and presidents. And Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Government of India constituted a 6 members expert committee. I was also one among them, and we prepared a rules for appointment of the members, qualifications, salary, a lot of things, and submitted. Ministry of Consumer Affairs submitted that report, rules to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court circulated, approved and circulated to all the chief secretaries of all the states throughout India to adopt within 6 months. Majority of them not did that or not adopted that, but ultimately we brought up the Consumer Protection Act 2019, and same rules we notified in the 2019 rules. Even after that, even though we have a new legislation, but we can achieve the object of the Act only when it is implemented effectively. So in that regard, Supreme Court, once again they observed that it is not happening. In one of the case, I appreciate the law students, always lot of things happened in consumer area from law students. One of the law students filed a complaint, sent a complaint to the Supreme Court that this is the pathetic condition. Then Supreme Court converted into PIL. So the case name is like this: In Re Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, Inadequate Infrastructure Across India, Petitioners versus Union of India. So 2021, case is still pending. But very important thing, they know the attitude of the state governments. If they say that you adopt these rules and dispose of the case, then state governments are least bothered, especially when it comes to implementation of welfare legislations. So that's why what Supreme Court said, in every hearing, one directions to all the states. Give us the vacancy list from all over India. So every state have to give vacancy list. Next hearing, within 2 months, you have to start the process of appointment. Then next hearing, what is the infrastructure? What about the admin staff? So like that, now it has gone around 11 hearings, still pending. So you can say that it's a judicial activism wherein they literally observing how state governments are behaving. And last hearing, some states have not given the information, even Supreme Court imposed a cost also on the state governments. So this is the way how the Supreme Court is working, and there is no need. Even the same thing was happened, the earlier case, J.J. Merchant versus Srinath Chaturvedi in 2002. After 1986 judgment, act, that was also not implemented properly, infrastructure was not there. Even in 2002, Supreme Court directed all these things. Same thing is repeated in state of UP case and now in Ray case. This is the situation in India. And one of the Supreme Court judgment, Anita Kushwaha versus Pushap Sudan, is a 2016 judgment, constitutional bench. They have mentioned access to justice is a fundamental right. And to achieve the access of justice, 4 essential elements should be satisfied. First one, state must provide the adjudicatory mechanism. Second one, it should be reasonably accessible in terms of distance. Third one, it should be speedy. Fourth one, it should be affordable. If you look into all these 4, all these 4 satisfies under the Consumer Protection Act. Adjudicatory mechanism, yes, it is established district, state, national level. Reasonable, accessible in terms of distance. Every district is having district commission, and now under the new act, district commission can sit in taluka place and hear the matters. And now under the new act, e-Dakhil is introduced. Payment, online payment, video conferencing, even notices can be served through electronic mode. So all these things are introduced under the new act. And speedy, yes, now even this month, 15th March, the Central Ministry conducted that YouTube video is still there. Cabinet Minister Piyush Goyal discussed on this, and different session. I presented in delay in disposal of the cases session. So we are concentrating on the whatever powers given, online powers are given, that should be used, and now administrative powers are given to the State Commission and National Commission on, say for example, district commissions are working or not, State Commission have a administrative power, similarly National Commission, and also public is having a right to file a complaint to the National Commission, and National Commission will inquire on members or presidents, how they are working. We heard long back that members 1 hour they are sitting and they are going home, but they are getting salary of a full month. So all these, whatever happening, these things are happening. So complaint can be filed, then National Commission will do the investigation and submit a report to the state government. The state government will take necessary disciplinary action against them. So all these things, and speedy disposal 3 months and 5 months, 3 months from the date of notice served to the opposite party, case has to be disposed of. 5 months in case of lab test. This is also not happening. According to IIPA New Delhi 2013 survey, around 48% or cases are disposed of after 5 months. So that's statistic. So that's why we have added lot of new things in the new act. And affordable, yes, it is affordable. Up to 5 lakh, no court fee. Up to 5 lakh rupees claim, no court fee. And above 5 lakh to whatever the pecuniary restriction is there, so only it is 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees nominal, very, very nominal. And when Act was introduced, passed, the pecuniary restriction of this district commission was 1 crore. Recently, lot of agitation came from all the states and discussion happened. Now, the central minister recently, they have notified, they reduced pecuniary restriction to 1 crore to 50 lakh to the district commission. Another very important thing is the value of the subject matter is counted to decide the pecuniary value of the subject matter. If you purchase 1 lakh rupees laptop, on 1 lakh the pecuniary restriction is decided, not on adding mental agony, expenditure, other things. You can claim more than the, see, let us take an example, 49 lakh bench car you purchased and it is defective, and you have to file it before the district commission, but your claim may be more than 50 lakh. Mental agony you add. So that is the way how the new legislation works. So all these things, and very important aspect is the students are the very important part of the society, and maybe if you visit our website, Consumer Chair website, you can see a lot of cases are filed by National Law School students. Pepsi case is there. Recently, the appeal was filed by the Pepsi company in State Commission. Again, that appeal was dismissed by the State Commission. So, PILs are filed by the students, public interest litigations, and consumer cases filed against the misleading advertisement. A lot of things students file. Why it is, I'm stressing, why we invited for this program only students, not any other people, because we want to impress upon you that you have a very strong organ of the society, and while doing your LLB degree 3 years or 5 years, you can file a case wherever you come across consumer disputes. You yourself can file a case. So it's a simple procedure. CPC is not applicable, Civil Procedure Code, Evidence Act is not applicable, even first year law student can do that. And up to 5 lakh rupees, no court fee, so no pocket money issue. Then you will learn how to draft the notice, drafting skill you will learn, and also the argument. And always Consumer Commission is consumer friendly environment. They know that you are a student, they encourage you to help you to argue the matter, or any error comes, they will help you to correct it. And if you are appearing party person, opposite party hires the advocate, then the Consumer Protection Act says opposite party has to submit 2 days prior to the final argument, written argument should be submitted. So you can get the written argument of the opposite party 2 days advance, and you can prepare yourself. So all these things are very, very important things, and that's why we concentrated on law students. And you in your law institute take help of advice of your faculty. Wherever you come across any exploitation, don't keep quiet. Within the limitation, everybody is having a limitation. Within the limitation, you try your level best to help the needy people, and legal service clinics are there. So through that you help the needy people. So in that way you can help the society, and that satisfaction is a great satisfaction as a student, as an institution, as a staff. So that's why we conducted this particular program. And so here, when the Kilpar is one of the very, very active, famous department, institution in government of Karnataka. I'm seeing this one since around 15 years. I'm observing regularly they are active in awareness programs and helping the society. And under the leadership of K. Dwarkanath Babu and Wadir, it is going very high level and achieving the object of establishing this particular institution. When we requested about this particular program, they are happily funded, financed us to conduct this particular program, and they came here and they shared their experience also. So on behalf of National Law School, Consumer Chair, thank you very much, sir, for your kind help to and I'm also thankful to all the staff members and student community. So on maybe 15 days or 20 days, within that we communicated and you responded. I'm thankful to all the law colleges, principals, staff and students. Thank you very much for all of you. And at the end, just before, after the lunch, you can visit in this floor only. We have a online consumer mediation center and consumer chair. I welcome you to visit that particular center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So now it's time to thank all the chief dignitaries of the dais. It's my privilege to thank, on behalf of National Law School of India University, I thank Mr. Dwarkanath Babu sir for accepting our invitation and for your gracious presence, sir. I also thank Wadir sir for his presence, and I also thank Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reform, Kilpar, Bangalore, for accepting our proposal and funding us to organize this event. Thank you, sir. Once again, thank you all the participants for today's function for their gracious presence.